Kresh the Bloodbraided. Kresh the Bloodbraided is renowned as Jun's mightiest human warrior, marked by the brutal tradition of braids taken from fallen foes. He bore 22 braids, an exceptional tally on Jund, and his path ultimately drew him into the wider conflict surrounding Alera's conflux. Kresh converts constant battlefield attrition into decisive scaling power at no additional mana cost. His trigger rewards every creature death with +1/+1 counters equal to that creature's power, a pattern that naturally intensifies in multiplayer commander environments. Aristocrats built decks around Kresh use repeatable sacrifice outlets and expendable creatures to generate frequent death events, making sure Kresh grows while your engines accrue value. It then closes by translating that accumulated power into reliable damage, often via evasion or direct power 2 damage finish, after the deck has steadily drained resources through sacrifice-based lines. Combo ideas for Kresh decks. Combo number 1. Jumbo Cactuar, plus Chandra's Ignition. Required conditions: 1. Jumbo Cactuar is on your battlefield. 2. Chandra's Ignition is in your hand. 3. Jumbo Cactuar does not have summoning sickness. 4. An opponent cannot block nor kill Jumbo Cactuar. 5. You have enough mana to cast Chandra's Ignition. Activating the combo. 1. Declare Jumbo Cactuar as an attacker, triggering its ability, giving it +9999+0 until end of turn. 2. Cast Chandra's Ignition, targeting Jumbo Cactuar, causing Jumbo Cactuar to deal 10,000 damage to each opponent and each other creature. Combo result: critical damage to creatures and opponents. Combo number 2. Kresh the Bloodbraided, plus Animation Module, plus Ashnod's Altar. Required conditions: 1. Kresh the Bloodbraided is on your battlefield. 2. Animation Module is on your battlefield. 3. Ashnod's Altar is on your battlefield. 4. You control another creature with power 1 or greater. Activating the combo. 1. Activate Ashnod's Altar, and sacrifice any other creature with power 1 or greater, adding to generic mana to your mana pool. 2. Kresh triggers, putting at X +1/+1 counters on itself, where X is the sacrificed creature's power. 3. Animation Module triggers, then choose to pay a generic mana to create a 1/1 servo artifact creature token. 4. Repeat. Combo results: 1. Infinite ETB triggers. 2. Infinite LTB triggers. 3. Infinite death triggers. 4. Infinite colorless mana. 5. Infinite +1/+1 counters on Kresh. Combo number 3. Chatterfang, Squirrel General, plus Pitiless Plunderer, plus Impact Tremors. Required conditions: 1. Chatterfang Squirrel General is on your battlefield. 2. Pitiless Plunderer is on your battlefield. 3. Impact Tremors is on your battlefield. 4. You control an additional squirrel. 5. Mana needed: a black mana. Activating the combo. 1. Activate Chatterfang, and sacrifice another squirrel. 2. When the squirrel dies, Pitiless Plunderer triggers, then create a treasure token, plus a 1/1 squirrel creature token due to Chatterfang's replacement ability. 3. When the squirrel token enters the battlefield, Impact Tremors triggers, dealing 1 damage to each opponent. 4. Resolve Chatterfang's ability from step 1, causing target creature to get +1/-1 until end of turn. 5. Activate a treasure token, then tap and sacrifice it, adding a black mana to your mana pool. 6. Repeat. Combo results: 1. Infinite ETB triggers. 2. Infinite LTB triggers. 3. Infinite death triggers. 4. Infinite damage to opponents. 5. Reduce the toughness of opponents' creatures to 0. Combo number 4. Rhythm of the Wild, plus Phyrexian Altar, plus Murderous Redcap. Required conditions: 1. Rhythm of the Wild is on your battlefield. 2. Phyrexian Altar is on your battlefield. 3. Murderous Redcap is in your hand. 4. You have enough mana to cast Murderous Redcap. Activating the combo. 1. Cast Murderous Redcap, then choose to put a +1/+1 counter on it due to Rite ability given by Rhythm of the Wild. 2. Murderous Redcap ETB ability triggers, then deal an amount of damage to any target equal to its power. 3. Activate Phyrexian Altar, and sacrifice Murderous Redcap, adding 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. 4. Murderous Redcap's persist ability triggers, then return it from your graveyard to the battlefield, but without a -1/-1 counter on it due to Rite ability given by Rhythm of the Wild. 5. Repeat from step 2. Combo results: 1. Infinite ETB triggers. 2. Infinite LTB triggers. 3. Infinite death triggers. 4. Infinite colored mana. 5. Infinite damage to any target. Combo number 5. Mikaeus, the Unhallowed. Plus Goblin Bombardment. Plus Putrid Goblin. Required conditions: 1. Mikaeus the Unhallowed is on your battlefield. 2. Goblin Bombardment is on your battlefield. 3. Putrid Goblin is on your battlefield. Activating the combo: 1. Activate Goblin Bombardment, and sacrifice Putrid Goblin. 2. When Putrid Goblin dies, its persist ability triggers, if it didn't have a -1/-1 counter on it, and its Undying ability given by Mikaeus also triggers, if it didn't have a +1/+1 counter on it. 3. Resolve the persist trigger, if applicable, then return Putrid Goblin from your graveyard to the battlefield with a -1/-1 counter on it. 4. Resolve the Undying trigger, if applicable, then return Putrid Goblin from your graveyard to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. 5. Resolve the Goblin Bombardment ability, then deal a damage to any target. 6. Repeat. Combo results: 1. Infinite ETB triggers. 2. Infinite LTB triggers. 3. Infinite death triggers. 4. Infinite damage to any target.
Hi Commander, if you are new here, welcome to our channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click that bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. Enjoy!
Non-game changer spells that are commonly found in Kresh decks. Corpsejack Menace. Counter doubling. Kresh puts X+1/+1 counters on himself when another creature dies, then Corpsejack doubles that X, accelerating your commander's lethality. Sacrifice Payoff. Aristocrats decks engineer frequent deaths, repeatedly triggering Kresh while Corpsejack amplifies every counter event into faster clock pressure. Scaling Finish Lines. The doubled counters make one big turn finish more reliable, because Kresh's growth is magnified at the moment counters are placed. Fling. Death Trigger. The required sacrifice ensures a creature dies, directly enabling Kresh to accumulate +1/+1 counters based on that creature's power. Damage Conversion. Fling converts a creature's power into immediate damage to any target, allowing your sacrifice fodder or a large creature to become direct reach. Closing Line. After repeated death events have inflated Kresh, you can sacrifice him to fling to finish a player or remove a key threat at instant speed. Fleshbag Marauder. Mass Sacrifice. The Fleshbag Marauder's ETB effect often causes multiple creatures to die, producing a strong burst of Kresh counters in a single sequence. Sacrifice Pressure. The forced sacrifice answers protected threats, while still advancing your death-driven game plan. Recursion Value. Reusing Fleshbag through common Aristocrats recursion lines repeatedly triggers sacrifices, sustaining attrition and continually growing Kresh. Rite of the Raging Storm. Guaranteed deaths. Each Lightning Rager is sacrificed at the beginning of the end step, ensuring steady dies events across the table, then Kresh converts every such death into +1/+1 counters. Combat Pressure. Trample and Haste encourage immediate attacks, increasing the likelihood of trades and additional creature deaths. This naturally amplifies Kresh's growth in an aristocrat's environment that thrives on recurring attrition. Protected Setup. Because Lightning Ragers cannot attack you or your planeswalkers, the enchantment redirects pressure away from you, buying time to assemble sacrifice engines and payoff pieces, while Kresh continues scaling from ongoing deaths. Mage Slayer. Power scaling. Kresh accumulates +1/+1 counters as creatures die, and Mage Slayer converts that enlarged power directly into damage when Kresh attacks. Blocker bypass. The damage from Mage Slayer is dealt on attack, allowing Kresh to pressure life totals even when combat would otherwise be stalled by blockers. Planeswalker Reach. Because the trigger can hit the Planeswalker being attacked, Mage Slayer helps Kresh remove Planeswalkers while maintaining the deck's attrition-based pacing. Soulsfire. Power projection. Kresh's counter growth from frequent creature deaths converts into immediate damage when Soulsfire uses his enlarged power as the damage source. Target flexibility. Soulsfire can remove a key creature or pressure a planeswalker or player without requiring Kresh to connect in combat. Lethal sequencing. After an aristocrat's sacrifice sequence inflates Kresh, Soulsfire provides an efficient and instant speed finisher that capitalizes on the board's attrition immediately. Brawn. Graveyard Trample. Once sacrificed or milled, Brawn grants trample from the graveyard, helping a counter-stacked Kresh convert size into real damage through blockers. Sacrifice placement. Aristocrats' sacrifice lands naturally place Brawn into the graveyard, while also triggering Kresh to gain counters from Brawn's power. Board pressure. Granting trample to your entire board turns token swarms and recursive bodies into credible attacks, forcing trades that further fuel Kresh's growth. Chandra's Ignition. Sweeping growth. When a high-power creature is chosen, the spell can eliminate multiple creatures at once, and each resulting death can substantially increase Kresh via his die's counter trigger. Asymmetric Burn. Because the damage also hits each opponent, the card functions as a scalable finisher that converts Kresh's accumulated power from sacrifice-driven turns into immediate life total pressure. Sacrifice Timing. An aristocrat sequence that engineers large deaths before casting this spell can inflate Kresh's power, after which Chandra's Ignition leverages that enlarged power to clear boards and close the game in one resolution. Daemogoth Titan. Forced Sacrifice. Each attack or block compels a creature sacrifice, reliably generating death events that advance Kresh's counter accumulation plan. Titan Cash-In. When Daemogoth Titan eventually dies, Kresh can immediately gain +1/+1 counters equal to the Titan's power, creating a decisive power spike. Trade Incentive. The Titan's oversized body pressures opponents into blocks and exchanges. Opposing creature deaths also increase Kresh, reinforcing your attrition-centric game plan. Feldon of the Third Path. Recycling ETBs. Feldon repeatedly creates hasty token copies from your graveyard, allowing you to re-trigger impactful ETB creatures. Counter Burst. The token is sacrificed at the next end step, guaranteeing a creature death that can add +1/+1 counters to Kresh equal to that creature's power. Fodder Engine. Because Feldon's copy is temporary and the original card remains in the graveyard, you gain a reliable and repeatable sacrifice creature each turn cycle. Post your commander on the comments section below, and we will create a video like this for you. Thank you for watching.